Hello, and welcome to PUBG Blindspot. So, an unusual one. This is going to be part of my coverage of the Steam Next Fest for February 2025. And to kind of put it bluntly, what they've managed to do here is create they've created a shooter in which the shooting feels awkward. I've had a couple games so far just to kind of get used to it, and I'll show you here. So we can kind of we'll select a character. We've got this guy, and what you get is it's essentially the best way of putting it is it is Rainbow Six Siege, but top down. So it's Rainbow Six Siege from a top down perspective, and literally, so you can go in. I can say, oh, I want to smash through this area. And I can do that there. But, you know, and it'll like, you know, in an actual lobby, you'd be able to shoot through this and bore holes through and everything like that. I'm guessing as well that at some point this is going to be like the tutorial over there that I don't think is in the game at the moment. But anyway. There's a shooting range of it, but the problem is, and why I say that the shooting is just kind of awkward. So it's like, for example, I'm going to shoot here at this guy. Boom, boom, boom. Pretty good. I'm getting him in about the neck. You actually aim on him, and it's kind of shooting in the chest. And this is where you start to notice the issue. So if I start aiming closer, so it's kind of aiming at the floor here, but then if I put it there, it's kind of getting these guys in the head, right? So, fair enough. You would think that to hit these, you would probably want to put the cursor on them, but it's like, kind of, but really... If I want to hit him, say, in the head. Now, you can alternate to shoot in the head. And then you can see next to my cursor, I can scroll down and it aims for body. You can't aim for legs for some reason. It's just head and body. I guess because there's no need to shoot them in the legs. Though, I would think there is. Because there are situations where you would want to aim at the legs instead of the head or body. But we'll get on to that. And of course, things can block your line of sight. So, for example, like I say, if I crouch down here and try to hit this guy behind, I'll hit the guy in front, obviously. So I think, okay, this seems reasonable. It doesn't seem to be that awkward. I think the yellow bar under my health as well, that is the ammo count. I think you can also see it at the bottom as well, next to the gun as a number, but... So where it starts getting a bit awkward is, like I said, now let's say I'm shooting through a vent. So there can be little vents on the side here. Now, there could be someone at the other side, and I want to shoot them. But if they're stood up like that, it's going to try and shoot up. And I know it's... And obviously things can get in the way. It's weird. It's the way I would put the aiming is that it's awkward. It's definitely awkward to aim. You also can't just start firing as you're running. You have to literally press the aim button to go into aim mode. And there's no sprint. There's a melee attack. As weak as it is. It's not got really any impact to it. The guy just limply hits with the butt of the gun. But it doesn't really come into it. We do have grenades. And you also get gadgets depending on whether you're attacking or defending it. It really is as well like Rainbow Six Siege. And it looks like you want to throw in front of your target because it bounces a bit. Right. But we'll get into it. And I'll show you a few games and you can judge for yourself. But it very much is just... It's Rainbow Six Siege. I mean, there is a team deathmatch mode. But it's basically Rainbow Six Siege with characters who have less identity. I mean, their appearance has a bit of identity to it, but their actual kit, the only difference is like the guns they start with and what equipment they're bringing. You still have these weird like what's it, debug prompts as well at the bottom here, underneath where it says loading sometimes. But yeah, we'll get in, and you can see what I mean. So, as I say, it's just, yeah, it feels like Rainbow Six Siege, but with a lot of the gadgets and cool stuff you can do kind of stripped back. We're going to pick Fence here just because I like the big machine gun. And they get a motion detector. So it alerts you to the directions of movement when unregistered persons detected nearby. We've got tactical barbed wire. You can also get like little metal barriers you can take in, and I think you can get impact grenades to like blow up holes in the walls. So those are like the defenders gadgets that you get. We'll put this here. So we're going to put some barbed wire in. And then I guess we'll put some over this way maybe. I've not really played this map, so doesn't hurt me, does it? It kind of does. And yeah, you can deploy barricades on the walls and things. So I might deploy one here. There you go. And it is basically, yeah, top-down siege, but with awkward aiming. Like, okay, so we know that they're out there somewhere. And when you're trying to aim past other people, it can be a bit wonky. As you can see, it's a bit awkward. What I should do as well is I should throw these motion sensors around. Oh, here we go. But yeah, it's not bad. Like there, you're trying to aim at someone crouched, but they're behind this. And that's kind of what I mean when I say the aiming's awkward. Rainbow Six Siege, I would just walk up to the window and aim down. Whereas on this, it's like, if there's something blocking, you kind of... Like, I guess I'd have to stand up, walk over, and then, like, target the body and things. It's a bit... It's not bad. But also, as well, since you're not really aiming other than just pointing the mouse kind of at or beyond them. Like, I don't feel like I'm really aiming, I'm just kind of pointing the gun at them, and then whoever hits the other person hits. It feels like a less skillful, more clumsy version of Siege. And I think that's essentially what they've managed to create here. It's essentially a clumsy, not as good version of Siege, with dodgy aiming. Why is the camera doing that when I'm trying to do this? It's being very awkward. Got a motion sensor through. So we've got gunfire coming from over that way. Oh, over here as well. Ow. Yeah. So it's... I feel like you just kind of spray your gun as well at them. The other thing as well is the sniper rifles in the game, and I'm trying desperately to think of like a use case scenario Because obviously you can only see to the edges of the screen and you're in these close quarters scenarios. I see no need to ever use those characters. I feel like they've been added just because, oh, but we have to have a sniper. It's a shooter, you have to have a sniper. When there's genuinely no need. Like Rainbow Six Siege, you could justify the use of a sniper rifle on certain maps. You can blow out the windows, get on like a shed or something across from the room. Yeah, so you could get... I remember on some maps, like there were one way a house in, and it's been years since I've played the game, so apologies if I'm not up to date with here, but there were certain spots you could get on like the roofs of like little sheds or something that were in the back garden on this house, and there were similar spots elsewhere, and you could literally slap a sniper on the top of there, get someone there, blast open the windows into the room, right? And anyone in there who dares look out just gets sniped. And then while your sniper's covering the room like that, you can just send the rest of your team in and start blasting, and if they ever show up in the window, the sniper will just pick them off. So there were kind of justifications to why you would have a sniper, but here, not really. And I forgot to pick a spawn point because I was nattering on. We're going to need to find a entry point here. Looks like this guy's found... I think he gets a sledgehammer instead of a grenade, or as well as one or something. So I'm going to follow him in. Looks like we've got a... And that's when it just feels like we all just spray his guns, and who are like... Yeah, he just turned, whips around and just got them both with a P90. But I don't know, it feels a bit... Ah yeah, they get a med kit, so he should be back to full health now. Might actually win. He might get the he might get the full team wipe. But yeah, and you can kind of move your mouse over to where the bullets are coming from, then walk round the corner firing, and you'll just kill them. And you can kind of... So I don't know, it seems... Anyway, there's our first game. But I don't know, it feels awkward. Compared to something like Rainbow Six Siege, which it's going to be compared to Rainbow Six Siege, obviously. It just feels really awkward and clumsy. And whereas I mean, Rainbow Six Siege has its problems where I think long since it stopped being about doing the objectives and everyone just plays as if it were team deathmatch and starts running around outside the buildings nowadays. And all the issues where there's like a hole in one of the walls in one of the corners that you see as you walk through the room, and 50 million bullets come through here as soon as you walk past and blow your brains clean out. It does have issues around that where it's just awkward as hell, but this is, I think so far, it does. It feels like an inferior version to Siege. Like the room setup and the assaulting them and assaulting the rooms and that just isn't as good. You don't get breach charges, you get these grenades instead, and like I said, just doesn't feel as good. Oh, I've missed out on them. Let's go with that person then. They get a med kit. So, grenade, smoke, stun, or explosive. So I think if you take anything other than an explosive, I think you literally cannot get into the building. Because you can't remove those things barring the entrances. So I'm just going to go with the guy who's got the sledgehammer because he'll get us in. Everyone going in the same way apart from one person who's just like, nah, I'm going to go over here. Screw you guys. Right, how are we going to enter? Well done. Good job, Moron. Just throws a grenade at the wall. And right. Okay. Ah, they're all in there. Right. Well. Guy. We got him, didn't we? Hey, I got him and I'm not dead. I don't even need to heal because we'd won by then. Lovely. Right. Guess we'll pick the same person. I will say the character designs are nice. It's pretty good, but it does kind of... The thing I do like about Rainbow Six Siege, again, I think it's gone off the rails way cosmetics since the last time I looked at it. I think it was starting to get there. I'm guessing now it's been a few years, it's probably completely gone nuts with them. But I did like that it kept to its aesthetic. They were all in SWAT outfits. They're not like this person running around in a giant swanky coat with a, with it tits out. It's like, yeah, that is a bit, it's like, it looks good. Not saying it looks bad, the characters look good, but they don't look like they would be in a SWAT team, is what I'm saying. If that's the aesthetic they want to go for, then by all means, but I think I just prefer the seriousness of Siege. Let's not try to all be behind each other here, or we'll all get killed in one go. Oh! That should do the trick. Got him! Right, I can end this video with my head held high. I've managed to get 2 kills and 0 deaths so far. Okay. I think he's wanting me to blow this up. Okay. Let's go. I think you can destroy those barricades by just shooting them. But again, it doesn't have the, create individual... Well, you kind of do create the bullet holes like Siege, but you know what I mean. You can't, like, tactically put little holes in it and then use them as little peepholes and things like that. Oh, that's a crouch thing. It's a vent. Right. Just put these everywhere. Oh, we are just sealed in here, aren't we? I've no idea how that medkit thing works, actually. When I come to think of it. Right. There also isn't actually a vault button. Like, you can't... Like, you'd think, oh, you'd be able to vault through... No. No, there's no vault. Oh, did I see... Is someone coming in through here? I think we lost a guy. Right, so I have to crouch down so I can aim at this. You see what I mean? Like, why is it... I'm crouched, I'm aiming there, and the aiming's high. Like, that is really high, and I can't actually click on them because I'd be clicking on the wall. So it doesn't... It's like it doesn't know what to aim at with my gun. This is what I mean when I say the aiming's awkward, especially around vents and things. Yeah. But it is, it's just awkward. Right. But that's about it. It's only a multiplayer game, so there's only so much I can really show. We can have a team deathmatch to finish on. Looks like there seems to be more players going in the team deathmatch. And we can have a go of that, see how a team deathmatch looks. But so far, yeah, just... You get these awkward moments like that when you're trying to, like I said, shoot through a vent and your aim's high and I can't make it go lower. And it's just a bit wonky. In fact, when I think about it, there might be something in the shooting range where you have to toggle it for, like, shooting at someone on the who's crouched or something, or... But, yeah. I'll go Fnatic, why not? Prepare for match. It doesn't seem to care which character you play as in Team Deathmatch, right? Oh, and this is just... Why is this even in a demo? Like, this is just... Like... Yeah, and I think that this probably isn't really ready for human consumption, this mode, when the map's like this. No, from behind, okay. Right. Oh. And they're behind again. Oh, person there. Right. Yeah, left control, aim at crouched target, and you have to hold it. There you go, it says on the right side, yeah. So you have to press a different button to aim at someone who's crouching. It's... Again, you're trying to do all of this and remember it all. I guess you'll eventually get used to it, but... Trying to remember all that in like a snap moment... It's... Yeah. Again, like I say, it's just not particularly great. Okay, there's definitely people over there shooting over there. I think I got one. Or helped get someone. Yeah, there's someone been walking through. Oh, there we go. Someone there. I was behind the wall then. Are these walls penetrable? No, they're not. So, it didn't get me through the wall. They're just... Yeah, just bad netcode, I guess. Yeah, there's bad netcode. My character literally jolted to the right then as I died. So, yeah, there's some issues around that. Literally, I was on the left, I died, and then my dead body jolted over to the right as if I was stood over there. So I think there's maybe like some slight latency issues or something with this. And team deathmatch is going about as well as I would expect a team deathmatch to go. And really, right there, that's the only association this really has with PUBG. There's a blue zone grenade. And my own teammate nearly killed me. Huh. And you heal by getting pickups. Yeah. It's... I don't know. I looked at this on the Next Fest because it was labelled as PUBG. And I'm like, oh, PUBG people are doing something. I don't know if they've done this themselves or if they've just licensed it off to someone. I'd probably have to check. But it's... From what I've seen of it, it seems very weak. It's just a worse version of Rainbow Six Siege with awkward aiming mechanics where you have to swap between head and body aiming with the mouse wheel and then press left control to aim at a crouch target. God knows why you can't just scroll down more. You know, just scroll down one more to aim at a crouch target. Or it's... to be fair, it's just, again, it's top-down shoots. Like, the fundamental flaw with this is that it's top-down. They've genuinely tried to just reinvent the wheel. It's a full-on just, we're going to reinvent the wheel. Why? Why are you just doing this? It's so stupid. But no, they insist on just reinventing the wheel. That's what it is. They insist on doing it, and they're stupid for doing so. Literally, it's first-person shooters are first-person, not because of some artistic reason or some cool aesthetic like that. It's done because, yeah, it's done like that purely because that camera angle really lends itself to aiming down the sights of a gun. It's really good at it. Being in a first-person perspective is really good for aiming. It's why a lot of racing games aren't in first person and are in third person in a, trailing the car, right? Because then you can see everything around the car. I mean, if we ever figure out how to do, driving in real life with a top-down third-person perspective type thing, like a trail cam on a real car, if you could ever get one of those. Which we might do, you never know. We might get to the day where your car's got like a little like antenna type thing sticking out the back of it with just like a selfie cam, so that you can see your car from a third-person perspective while you drive, and it just puts it on like your dashboard or something. It'd be incredibly good for parking. But we've already got reverse cameras, but you get the point. It'd make it way easier. It'd be really useful. And yeah, first person is just really good for shooting it. It goes without saying. So it's really, really bad at... top down is really bad at that. Like third person is good for action combat. Like, you'll always notice this. Melee combat in first person, there's not a lot you can do with it. You can do like swings and different types of swings, so you can do like swipes, overheads, thrusts. That's kind of it. There's not really much you can do other than that. Like, you can do blocks, parries, but first person combat, well, first person doesn't really lend itself very well to melee combat. Third person, you can see your character and all the cool little animations, so you can do a lot more with it than just swiping. Because obviously, if your character were to do like a triple backflip where they kick the enemy repeatedly in the head in first person, with the camera spinning around like that, you would just make the player throw up. So it's really bad at third person. Well, it's really bad at like melee action combat. Top down is really good for when you want a strategic view of things. So it really lends itself to any kind of game which requires like base building or commanding troops. So real-time strategies and like city building games are really good in top down. But usually that kind of flattens out what you're looking at and you can't see all the detail in it, so they tilt the camera so you can see the sides, so that's when you get the isometric look, right? And that gives you the best of all worlds then for real-time strategy and so on. So what they've done here is they're using that, and this type of game, it would normally be a twin stick. Like, it's perfectly fine for like a twin stick arcade game, but usually the reason they do that is because it's some kind of bullet hell shooter, or you're mowing through like hordes of zombies or aliens or something, and so being able to see quite far along the screens to see what enemies are coming, and being able to being able to see that, quite useful, right? And being able to like I said, it just works, you know, and being able to start incoming projectiles. If it's a bullet hell, it works well for that. So it works well in arcade twin stick shooters, but they're not even using it for that. It's like, yeah, it gives you a nice broad strategic perspective on the gameplay, but then they limit that using like this field of view thing where you can only see what your character would see, so you can't see behind you and you can only really see in front of him. And so it's like, okay, so you've used the camera angle best suited for giving you a strategic overview of the landscape, and then you've gotten rid of that strategic overview of the landscape by putting this weird field of view fog of war thingy in. Right, so why are we using top down? It feels like the only reason is to be different from Siege, and that this game just wants to be Rainbow Six Siege. I have no idea why they've done this. Any idiot would be able to tell you that this will fail as a first person shoot. Well, it will fail as a shooter. It just will. It should be first person. It's not better than Siege. There's no reason for this to exist. Anyway, that's my thoughts of it after playing. I guess now with the couple games I played as well beforehand, it's been about an hour. But honestly, I would have been able to tell you within 10 minutes that this is dead on arrival. I hate to say it, but literally I cannot think of a reason why it exists. It's just a worse Siege. No idea. Anyway, that's it for now. This is PUBG Blindspot, part of my coverage of the Steam Next Fest. I was interested to see what they were cooking up. The answer's not much. But I will see you in future videos, where I'll probably be playing some other demos. There's a playlist on the channel if you want to see what I've already covered, and you can subscribe if you want to see what I'll be covering soon. It'll send that to your feed and that if you want to keep up to date with it all. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in future videos. I'll see you then.